Okay, so how are psychedelics used? This can be very different, depends where you are. But these are kind of some of the most common categories that we're going to see. So recreational, this is people using it at either raves, for a party, something like that. We're not going to be focusing too much on that, but definitely worth noting, and often what most people think of when they think of psychedelic use, the therapeutic effect. This is something we're going to think about or focus on much more as we talk about, and this is bringing in what's currently going on in human medicine, where we're having breakthrough potentials with molecules such as psilocybin, MDMA, LSD, for refractory depression, anxiety, PTSD. So therapeutic is one where it's getting kind of most of the focus, and we're also going to focus on in terms of One Health research, drawing from the human research. How can we bring this into at least conceptually thinking about how this could work for our patients? Spiritual or religious. And this is, like, as I had said, has a deep, deep history, right? Humankind in general has been using psychedelics more than they have not, in general. So in ancient Greece, and going back to something called soma, and even before that, right? Indigenous groups from many parts of Africa, South America, and even from Siberia, where the term shaman actually truly comes from, have been using expanded states of consciousness, including psychedelics, in a spiritual or religious property. And now, as a resurgence that we're seeing in the US, these new formations of ayahuasca churches or psilocybin churches that are allowing them to explore these molecules within community, and hopefully in a safe and ethical way, but legal as well. Self-exploration and personal growth. So this is something that often people will use on their own, with proper preparation, maybe with a guide, without a guide, but not for any therapeutic process in general, just for overall well-being or expansion or further understanding of themselves or the universe. Okay? Creativity and artistic expression. So these often go very hand in hand. You'll see, especially in psychedelic communities or psychedelic conferences, as we can see it, there's a big creative side to this. Something like Burning Man being an example of that, a communities coming together where, if spoken or not, psychedelics have a thread into that community, and you can see the creativity that grows from that as well. Experimental and scientific research. And so this is kind of coming into the therapeutic, but we'll look at this in a different way, especially as it pertains to animals. There's actually a pretty good history of animal psychedelic use in scientific research. Some of them, I'm going to say ethical, maybe some not so much. And so as we grow as a community, that's what I'd love to be able to bring in and see, what can we learn from the past, and how do we grow or change research in psychedelic medicine, and us as being advocates for more therapeutic research in animals, if we're going to go that way, and not just the kind of classical toxicology or just looking at it for human benefit as well. And then the unknown, right? There's always a space for the unknown within psychedelic world. So I'll leave that there as well. And any questions so far?